Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Opportunity for us to grow. I thought we had plenty of opportunities to win the game. We just didn't do enough. And like you said, Jen, on a back-to-back, we battled all night. Proud of our effort. We got to tighten some things up. It was some little things that got us down the stretch, but we'll be better. I think it was a combination. They did a good job. I don't want to take anything away from them. They did a good job defensively against us in the first half of keeping the ball on the side and pick and rolls, especially. Their defense was active. And then we made some adjustments in the second half. Number one, you just got to play faster, play with more force. We only had 9 assists at halftime. So sharing the basketball is key for us. And I thought the second half we did a better job. Our execution was a bit better after that, but more importantly, just talking to the team about we got to share the ball, we got to stop walking in the sets, we got to play with more pace and force defensively. We got to be more active to kind of get anything they want. And I thought we did a good job of adjusting. We just came up short. We have moments where we do it, and when we do, it looks fantastic. And then we'll have moments where we don't. We have to be more balanced in that area. Yeah. We don't need to go to overtime. Just growth. We got to grow. At the end of the day, the game is going to come down to getting stops and executing offensively. We start the overtime with a turnover. Dejounte Murray goes down. It wasn't our intention, but that's what we did. We missed a layup with a chance to tie the game in overtime. So there's things that we can clean up, but our execution has to be better. That starts with me. I got to be better with getting our guys in the right spots, starting with practice and going over it over and again. Yeah, I think it was. I have to check when the game is going on. I don't hear anything until kind of after. So I think it might have been cramping. Jose, when he gets in the game, you know what he's going to bring. His toughness. He's going to bring energy. He plays with an extremely fast pace, and then he makes the right play over and over again. So we can depend on him. All right, thank you guys.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. We got to apologize. They were frying eggs in the back while they were doing this interview there. So sound, man, they got to work on that mic. Frying eggs behind that some bitch. But anyway,
you never hit them damn questions, huh?
I'm telling you, DC, speaking of eggs, this one was definitely an egg laid by the Pels on this one, man. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining for this installment of the Pelican post-game report. We up in this thing. This been called Pelicans Fall to Hawks on the road, 124-121 in OT. So many opportunities to take this and add to and get another win as, just moving forward. But once again, the positives in this one, DC, is that they're going to look at it as a teaching tool to kind of take advantage of windows of opportunities when they have opportunities to take advantage of. So, I mean, this one, man, I was watching it back and forth between LSU matchup, man, and let me tell you something. The Pelicans, they just squandered several opportunities in the matchup to be able to do something positive and get the dub. But anyway, with that being said, we are getting in the stream. Quick thoughts before we get the team stats running.
Yeah, man. I mean, we definitely let it slip through our feathers. We didn't capitalize. We had a lot of opportunities, as you heard Coach say, to be able to win this game, and we just didn't take advantage, man. It seemed a lot like that Lakers game. It's kind of the same thing, man. Just steady fighting. You will yourself to get back into the game, only to make dumb mistakes and just costly turnovers. Points off of turnovers definitely killed us tonight, but I know you're gonna get into all the stats, so ain't gonna talk too much about too many of them. But we got to tighten up as a team, man, as a whole, far as just not getting lackadaisical and being able to go out and execute. So it is a back-to-back. The guys were a little sloppy. I think a lot of that was because of that, but they also were a little sloppy the other game too. It just benefited us and us being able to, close out later in the game and get the W. Wasn't able to do it tonight though.
Yeah, indeed, bro. They weren't able to, pushing it in overtime. They lose by 3, but it shouldn't have never even got that far. But anyway, with that being said, let's get into the team statistics for the night. Pelicans shot 43.5% from the field on 47 of 108 attempts there. They were a miserable, dreadful 7 of 23 from downtown for 30.4%. The Hawks 47 of 103 for 45.6 versus, and then of course they had the 9 of 36 for 25% from downtown. So they had a couple of more. Pelicans went to the line 28 times on the road. They were 20 of 28 for 71.4%. And of course, you look at what the Hawks did, a 21 of 25 from the charity stripe, 84%. So I go to say the Pelicans have to do a better job of taking advantage of when they go to the free throw line and they, and hit a higher clip on. That's what I'm saying. Some of these tougher games, you can win at the free throw line if you're a lot more fundamental. We just, we need to get a lot better at shooting the free throw. 59 rebounds versus 50 advantage. Pelicans had 19 offensive rebounds in the matchup, 28-23. The Hawks had the assist advantage, 12-8 on the steals advantage. Atlanta 8-6 on the blocks advantage. Atlanta, the Pelicans had 16 turnovers with 23 points, all versus 13 turnovers with 16. And of course, fast break points, Hawks won that too, 22-14, and the Pels won the points in the paint thing 68-66 in the game. And of course, 13 was the largest lead, with the Pelicans had it at one time by 2. So team statistically, DC, we looking at the free throws, and that could have helped if they'd hit several more free throws there. We looking at that's something that we got to watch out for as well. But in this game, statistically, if you look at the statistics, Atlanta did a lot of things positive to kind of push the Pelicans out the way.
Well, yeah, you just touched on one of the stats I'm looking at. It's definitely free throws, man. You can't miss 8 free throws now. Come on. We gotta get into shooting into the 80s and stop shooting into the 70s with the free throws. They free. Gotta take advantage of those. You hit some more of those, that could change the game. Obviously, I talked about turnovers and points off of turnovers. That was a big aspect of it. Fast break points too. We allowed them to get 22 fast break points. We should be a team that's running, and for us to only get 14, and we allowed them to get 22 points in the paint. I like where we're at, 68, but I don't like seeing Atlanta get 66. Uh, I like the Pels usually dominate that area, and just watching us defensively, man. They got too many easy points in the paint. You know what I mean? A lot of times guys were missing rotations or losing a guy up under there. I was so sick of seeing Trey Murphy throw them goddamn alleys to Clint Capela. It seemed like that's the only way he could score. Just a lot of little easy ones in the paint, man. So we definitely could have won this game. And if you look at the free throws, turnovers, points in the paint, fast break points, man, you change any one of those, this could definitely be a victory, as well as the 3-point shooting. But hey, Atlanta shot 25%, so can't feel too bad about us shooting 30. And we only took 23 when they took 36. We definitely should have won this game, but guys just didn't have it tonight, man. It was right there for the taking, and we ain't take it.
Yeah, this is part of the game where the Pelicans, they're gonna have to play better, man. They're gonna have to step up and play a lot better than this, man. And most of these games, it's just a few little nitpicky things here or there, and it's just we know it's early in the season, and this is just some of the stuff that we need to push on for. But a lot of this stuff, we can win some of these games. We play a little bit better defense and be a little bit more smarter and hit our, be a lot more fundamental in our free throws. We can focus on that. If we hit a better clip on the free throws, we'd have got past Atlanta tonight. So anyway, with that being said, let's get into the team statistics. 29 points by Zion Williamson. Him and McCollum was tied in the matchup. He played 37 minutes, 29 points for Zion on 11 of 20 shooting from the field. He was 7 of 10 from the charity stripe. He had 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists by Zion. He did have 7 turnovers in the game. 29 for CJ McCollum, 41 minutes, 12 of 23 from the field. He was 4 of 9 from downtown. He had 29 points and 10 rebounds, no assists, but 29 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double by CJ McCollum. 19
That's
from
crazy. He
Herb
had
Jones.
no assists.
Zero assists for CJ today.
That's crazy, man. See, CJ was like, I'm scoring tonight, huh?
Now he's seen this. He was trying to get the game in the hands of the Pels. 19 by Herb Jones in 34 minutes, 7 of 13 from the field. A lot better than what he did Friday. 3 or 4 from the charity stripe. He had 13 points, 17 rebounds for Herb, and the assists and the steal and a block to go along with that. 19 points for him, 16 for BI in 38 minutes. He was 7 of 23, not as crisp as we seen him on Friday. He was 2 of 4 from downtown. He finished with 16 points in 38 minutes, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and a couple of blocks by BI. 13 from Big V in 26 minutes, 5 of 12 from the field. He finished with 13 points, 17 rebounds, and assist, steal, and block into his numbers. And then DC, when you go to the bench most certainly didn't give us the type of production that we hope from a scoring perspective that we was looking for. If they would have done that, something similar, or at least half of what they did in a matchup Friday, this could have definitely helped us out. The second line didn't have anything going insofar as playing a solid unit, offensively speaking. Larry Nance, 8 points on 27 minutes of action. He had 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists to go along, 3 or 4 shooting from the field. He was perfect from the charity stripe. And then 5 points for Jose Alvarado in 16 minutes. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown, 5 points, 4 assists, and a rebound, 2 by Trae Murphy, DC in 17 minutes. You know that ain't right. 0 for 3 from downtown, 0 for 3 from the field, but perfect from the charity stripe. That's the only way he got his points today. He had 2 points and 2 assists in 17 minutes of action. Dyson Daniels seen some action, 5 minutes. Not really nothing offensive he did in terms of just having 3 rebounds to go along with that thing. And of course, you've seen guys Najee Marshall and Graham. Najee Marshall and Graham played in the matchup. Both of those guys played, but ultimately, no offensive points were scored by Graham or Najee Marshall, who both had 11 and 12 points apiece. Marshall was 0 for 3, and Dante just took one shot. He was 0 for 1. Outside of that, second line, no
12
second.
minutes, boy. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
When they scored?
yeah, and then of course you know what time that goes and how that shakes and bakes, man. When you look at the second line, but a little bit more production off the bench would have, scoring wise, would have helped us lift this game. But let's talk about your favorite 3 here, if there are any.
The second line looked more like a repass. And it looked second line ish. I say my favorite 3 guys. You definitely got to give a shout out to CJ because we started out this game bad, and he kind of carried the momentum in the beginning of the game. Man, he was hot for a while, kind of cooled down as the game went on, and turned out giving you 29, 10 rebounds for CJ. So he was definitely out there hustling. Got a steal, and he got a block. And only 2 turnovers. I think we should have probably leaned on him a little more for facilitation, uh, getting those turnovers up. He came out as a scorer, and I guess he just kept that hat on, man. He went back in his Blazers bag tonight because he wasn't really trying to get guys involved too much, obviously. Big V, man, he was non-existent. I wanted to give him a shout out
What's the
because
problem
the
with
good plays
Valanciunas,
he
man?
had, but he was kind of non-existent tonight. His minutes, man. I mean, I think Larry Nance doing what he does has cut into Big V's minutes a little bit because when Big V have it going, we might give him 30 minutes, 32 sometimes, when he got it going. But now it's like when I'm remembering the game, he had a little stretch where he was going crazy with them rebounds, man. He was getting them volleyball taps. And Larry Nance came in and he's been playing pretty good defense. And that kind of neutralizes Big V because when he's out there, and now Zion, man, they was picking on Zion tonight, defensively. And they kind of do that same thing to Big V, man. And Willie Green's adjustment to that has been to play Larry Nance more minutes, as Larry Nance had an amazing game, last night. So I could kind of get that. But man, we got to figure this out with playing Big V and Zion, man. It's a little bit of a problem defensively to me when I'm watching them. Not offensively; those guys can mesh well, but the way we play defense with both of them, man, the team is just they picking their poison with them guys, man. They're taking what they can get based off of that. But getting to the other Z, I'm about to say Big Z, but getting the Zion Zanos, he definitely rounded in the form offensively. Finally, scoring the most points we've seen him score all season with 29. Got 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Zion had a good game, you would say, but not so much to me. I mean, the numbers are good, but I don't remember Zion ever having 7 turnovers, and that killed us tonight, man. It was too many times I seen him cross somebody, and they're right there by him, and he almost turns it over. Um, I seen him cross. What's that guy's name? I don't know if he's a rookie or a second year player, but it's a younger guy that went to Duke. One of his alumni brothers. He crossed him up. The dude picked his pocket, man. You know what I mean? So Zion is definitely rounding into form, but he still got a ways to go. And defensively, man, at times it was just bad. It looks like he's being lazy on defense sometimes. I just was unimpressed with Zion on defense. I definitely think he'll correct all of this, You got to keep in mind Zion ain't played for almost 2 years, and we're only 9 games into that. So I really want to see what he looks like after maybe about 20 to 25 games under his belt. But definitely a great effort from him tonight, getting that 29, man, and he finally got to the foul line. Got to shoot 10 free throws, made 7 of them. So good in that area. He checked off way more boxes than he didn't. So ultimately, he's one of my 3 guys, man. Good game from him. Third guy, I'm gonna go with it. It's none other than Mr. Herb Jones, man. Who else I'm gonna pick? Herb was out there keeping us in the game, man. He had some timely steals. He had a play at the end of the game that gave us a chance for the 3-pointer from Devontae Graham, where they say he stepped out, which I don't believe he stepped out, but whatever. Because we were supposed to have 3 free throws, that could have went to double overtime pretty easily, but damn referees was ready to get out of there. And I can't say I'm really too mad at him because it shouldn't even got to that damn point, to be honest with you. But Herb was in the fight, man. Gave you 19 points, 9 rebounds, about the cheap shot him. Gave you 9 rebounds, 4 offensively, 5 defensively, 2 assists, 3 steals, man. And he was out there playing his ass off on D, covering up a lot of mistakes. Rough night for him, though, trying to guard Trey Murphy and Dejounte Murray and deal with those guys on the perimeter and then rotating over the other guys and helping. Herb had his hands full tonight, man. So for him to come up with 19 points on offense was huge to me, man. So shout out to Herb Jones. Good game.
Yeah, man. That backcourt, man, and I talked about it on the preview stream, man. On the back end of the Friday matchup, when you talk about what the Hawks have put together when they brought Dejounte Murray in there with put him right next to Trae Young, man. Man, how the hell people allowed that to happen, man? And they're formidable. Look what between
That's
both
the perfect guy to put next to Trey Murphy. He would be I guess in the Drew Holiday mold, like those type of guys is what you want to put next to a guy like Trey Murphy.
Man, them dudes,
Trey
they
Murphy,
were
I'm tripping, man.
They was
Trae
responsible
Young
for 56 points. That backcourt responsible 56 points and 21 assists between the two of them. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely triple. And let's get into the numbers on that, man. And on their side of things, what they did in Young and Murray, 34 points for Trae Young with 10 assists. So he double, and then 22 points from Dejounte Murray with 11 assists and 10 rebounds. So he had a triple-double. That's ridiculous. Capela with all his dumb alley-oops, he had 21 points, but he also hustled up 19 rebounds because that's the type of dude he is. He's a nonstop high motor dude that likes catching the alley-oops and fighting for rebounds. He had 19 of them. He also had 4 blocks to go in there. So this team plays really well together. Hunter threw in 15 points too. The matchup, and of course you see off the bench you had Johnson that had 11 and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is Atlanta was I mean, you ain't gonna say that the Pelicans should have actually won this contest. I mean, there was several points through the game I've seen the Pelicans just those turnovers too and the missing the free throws. It was just maddening to me at times. Like, goddamn, we won't get anywhere like deep and get past some of these little nitpicky teams that are that got 3 or 4 good players but no bench to carry them. The Pelicans are a very solid team from the start to the finish, and we need to develop that. And I know that happens over time. And these are the times when they'll start developing that play. So let's move forward here and look at who they got next. This will be a Monday matchup here against the Pacers. We're going to Indiana to take them on. They're 4-5. They're 2-2 at home there. So the Pelicans are 5-4, 3-3 on the road. The matchup indicator says, oh, yeah, we got the Pelicans 56% there. Top scorer, and according to the statistics, Zion with almost 22 a game.
Wait, hold up, Q. The matchup indicator got us winning by 56%?
56.1%.
Oh, shit, I'm nervous now, bro.
So
the
there you
matchup
go.
indicator don't never have us winning, man.
They got you winning against the Pacers. 4-5 of them in the top scorer for the team, according to this, is 22 points for Zion Williamson, almost 22. Valanciunas averaging almost 10 rebounds per contest. I don't see how that dropped him to check that. I think these numbers are a bit skewed. And they got McCollum at 7 assists at 35 minutes per contest. Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton is their top scorer, the former King turned pacer, averaging 22 points a game. Smith is their top assist rebounder at 8, and Halliburton's the top assist man with over 9 per contest, 9.3 to be precise, 34 minutes of action for Tyrese Halliburton. So DC, this is an interesting club, Indiana. You know, it's just going to be a kind of a strange matchup. They're sitting at 4th place in the Central. And they have a couple of injuries. We know Chris Duarte will miss about a month worth of basketball for them. He recently got hurt. But if you take a look at their depth chart, let's cover this team. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield is there. You got Jalen Smith there. You got Miles Turner there. You got TJ McConnell, who's a fire plug. Benedict Mathurin is there. DC, one of his favorite college scouts, and he's there. And they got some other really interesting players too. Let's talk about this Indiana Pacers club. They're 4-5, man, and I'm watching some highlights on Indiana, man. They one moment they look bad, the next moment they fire it up. So we'll see what they look like against us, but we just have to go in there and play Pelican basketball the correct way, and we should be able to beat this team. This is not a playoff team, and these are the type of teams we need to beat on to improve upon our winning percentage and learn things off the positive way. DC, let's cover this team.
I mean, we definitely should beat this team, but I can't discount the Pacers, man. I mean, they got a lot of talented guys, man. They have some good players, but they just don't fit, together, in my opinion. They got like too many of the similar guys. Like if you got Chris Duarte and you got Buddy Hield and Benedict Mathurin, like that's just kind of crazy to have all those guys. And Aaron Naismith, like you're not gonna be able to play all of those guys together. And that's, a lot of the most talented players I just named, or at least some of the younger ones. But guys like TJ McConnell. Every time we play against TJ McConnell, man, he comes up with all type of big plays all over the court. So they definitely got talent, man. We know Tyrese Halliburton is a pretty good guy. When he came up in trade talks, we all wanted him, right? You got what's Miles Turner, the guy that's been connected to Pelicans in trade talks for the longest. We want a center that could shoot threes and play defense. Well, that's him. Pretty solid guy. You got Buddy Hield, who's probably one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Aaron Naismith, who's also a pretty good 3-point shooter in his own right and just outright scorer. Jalen Smith, who I forgot what that brother, wasn't he with Maryland? And
that's right.
That's him. He was with Maryland.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he played for Phoenix, man. I don't know how he got over here, but he's a big that can play some D. Got a little perimeter shot, man. Little post game. So they got a lot of guys that are capable. But when I'm looking at that roster, what I don't see any bona fide superstars, right? A guy like Tyrese Halliburton could maybe be an all-star, but they don't have any superstars. So a team like the Pelicans, we should go in there and we should be able to easily beat the Pacers. Should we blow them out? I don't think so. I mean, I think this is a decent team that will put up a fight. They're a team that, to me, doesn't really have an identity. Maybe as the year goes on, they'll find one. But we should not be able to beat this team. So keys to victory for this is obviously you want to slow down the head of the snake, which is Tyrese Halliburton. That's the most important guy to me on this team. He goes, they go. Other than that, you just got to play solid ball, man. I mean, they got some guys that can score. Don't give up easy buckets. Don't turn the ball over. Don't give up wide open 3-point shots because they can't hit them.
Yeah, they can hit them, man. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hill, they'll knock them shots down on your ass in a hurry. So the Pelicans got to take care of business against the Pacers. Like I said, this will be a Monday night game. You know, we'll be looking out for them to see how the Pelicans respond. 6:45 tip-off time Central. You know, we traveled up that Indiana, and this is one of those games, you know, that we supposed to knock this team out of here. The Pacers are not a playoff team. They're not even close to that. This is one of the bottom 10, bottom 15 teams in the entire NBA. And these are the teams that we beat up on to elevate our record. If the Pelicans are with who we think they are, and we know that they are a top 5 team in the NBA, this is how you make your bones, by stumping on the Pacers and refining your game, not turning the ball over, playing smarter, you know, and doing the right things. Coach Willie teaches the team to do. And like I said, I think the matchup indicator would be correct on this. I think the Pelicans win this game. We got Zion, we got BI, we got CJ, we got all these guys playing together for the first time in several games because, you know, they missed things due to various injuries. So they got together then. It's that starting lineup has to build some chemistry and work together and move forward. And of course, the bench has to also give a solid performance, whether it's defensive or offensive. And I feel like tonight, if we done a better job offensively off the bench, I think the Pelicans would have definitely have won this contest. So, like when you have some of these games where they'll struggle a bit, if you hit the free throws, you'll kind of come out and win these games, and that's when they come down to fundamentals. And that's something like we constantly preach here over the last several years on the Pelican Post Game Report. So, with that being said, fam, DC, yeah, that Tyrese Halliburton is the top scorer on the club, man, to be honest with you. But yeah, they are a scrappy team. They got several scrappy players. You mentioned McConnell. I remember when him playing against him last year, he dives.
He got a victory one time with us. When we had Lonzo Ball, I think that was Lonzo Ball. Remember that? He got like a steal. They had like it's maybe 20, 30 something seconds left in the game or something, man. Or maybe it's a little more time than that. We basically had the game in the bag. TJ McConnell got a steal, and people scored. Then Miles Turner wound up hitting the 3 or something. And I think we might have went to overtime or something like that and lost that game, bro.
Yeah, they were beaten.
All because of TJ McConnell.
Because McConnell's defensive acumen.
Yep.
Yeah, he was in there playing scrappily against Lonzo. Yeah, he did do that to Lonzo Ball. Yeah, he did. And it's his contribution. I was so heated after that game, man. I was so heated after that game. I remember that, man. I was upset because that game was in hand and they let that game get right on out.
Lonzo came back, I think a game or so after that, and he had like a big play. I mean, he might have hit a clutch 3-pointer or something after that because everybody was getting on him. Boy, we was hot at him, letting that dude pick his pocket like that.
Yeah, that you don't supposed to let that happen, man. But regardless or not, that's it. But
not at that point in the game. Everybody get picked, but you can't have that happen at the end of the game like that. That's crazy.
Right. Of course. So family, that's pretty much what's going on. Pelicans are now sitting up here at 5-4, 3-3 in a way, 4-5 are who the Pacers they're taking on. So that's what it is right now. DC, are you feeling pretty good, bro?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Anybody want to come in? We can allow them to come on in.
All right, DC, how your internet way out there in Jamaica? Is your internet doing good, sir?
It's doing all right. I mean, I had no problem so far, right?
Okay, DC's internet is holding, man. He got the satellites up, man, and everything good from the island. He got it pointed at the United States, so we good on that. So anybody wants to feel free to join the stream and spit that game about the Pelicans. You can feel free to hit the link that's in the chat. Hit the link in the chat, and we'll cut you in and bring you on up in this thing, and you can talk about some Pelican stuff. But remember, please be brief. Let the family member, spit your game and let the next person roll behind you. All right, so here we go with it. We got it in the chat right there. And DC, like you said, DC's been doing really good. His internet been flawless.
This show is about the Pelicans. It ain't about me and my internet.
I was just saying, sir, your internet's been flawless, bro.
I would hope so. I pay money for it.
DC's internet is holding up, family. So yeah, it's all right, man. But anyway, and for some of the family members that's actually cute, will we be doing shows with outside of just the our regular podcast and stream? We'll do with pictures or whatnot. Yes, we will be doing those again. As soon as DC fixes his coconut camera, we will roll those out again, and then everybody will be happy. So shout out to DC on that, and shout out to you guys for being on the Pelican Post Game Report. The link is in the chat for the family members that won't pop in. Please feel free to pop in and chime in on your thoughts on the Pelicans. So yeah, we got a lot going on DC right now from an assist standpoint, man. A busy night of sports in the area, man. Pelicans improve, or well, they don't improve, but they lose this contest, and they are 5-4. So they
improve.
slide
What,
down.
what
They slide down to the middle of the conference there. Memphis is
Coach
on a
said we
2-game win
growing,
streak.
man. I'm gonna go with
Okay,
what Coach said. He said we growing, bro. It's another
he
opportunity
growing.
to grow. So we
That's all.
improve.
That's all he could say. Is that's pretty much all he can say, brother. Is that he has to take that standpoint, man. That we got to improve. Of course, you look at this is what I guess that's the Western Conference. Pelicans are sitting up at 7th in the West right now with the 5-4 mark,
I
and
take
over
that.
the last 10 games, yeah,
Or Bi missing 4 games. I take that.
indeed. So let me put on this there you go on the Southwest. You see at the bottom of your screen right there. Memphis is 6-3. They're winners of 2 in a row. They're 6-3 over the last 10 contests. Dallas 5-3. They've won 3 in a row. And of course, the Pelicans sitting right there in the center of the Southwest with the Spurs, who lost 3 in a row. The Spurs was doing their thing. Then they bottom out. That whole Freemo thing's ridiculous, but they lost 3 in a row. The Rockets are losers of 6 in a row, and the Pelicans sitting right in the center of the Southwest, 7th in the Western Conference. Period. So there we go. Shout out to the flock. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Stephanie says we need to stop all these seesaw games. Win one, lose one, up and down. Indeed, Stephanie, we need solid ground to stand on, and you only get that through fundamental basketball. And that's what Coach Willie has to get them on board with. I think a lot of that is because you got people that were out, and Bi got slapped in the face, hit upside the head in the face by Najee Marshall early on, and he missed several games. And then we finally getting him back yesterday. Finally get him back after all of that, and then you had Zion, and he finally came back. You had Dyson Daniels, Herb Jones hyperextended something or other. He finally kind of moved back after all this time. So whatever momentum or chemistry or harmony we would have had if those guys wouldn't have been there, we have to kind of rediscover it and work on that right now. So, yeah.
And Stephanie's exactly right, man. And like you said, fundamental things, man, and that's built on a foundation. Is built brick by brick, and you can only fix one thing at a time. I mean, you can attempt to fix multiple things, but you're only going to shore up one thing, and then you have to move on to the next. So, um, like I said, the biggest thing I've seen the last few games has been shoring up that our defense with our big guys, with Zion and Big V. Uh, I'm pretty sure Willie would figure it out. Another thing I could nitpick, I'm not, I guess, upset about like a lot of people are about the Devontae Graham minutes. I don't think it's horrible that we're playing him those minutes some games, but if he ain't giving you nothing, he definitely don't need the minutes every game. I don't feel about him like how I feel about Garrett Temple, but a guy like Dyson Daniels, when Bi was out, was playing really good ball, man. Especially on the defensive end, and I think we could always use that. Jose Alvarado is playing excellent. I want to see him get more minutes. You know, haven't seen Najee doing a lot since Bi came back, so we gotta figure out a way to get him involved because I don't want his minutes to go away. Still think he's capable of doing those things if you play him in the right rotations with the right guys. Like maybe Najee they can work him in more with the starter sometimes, and that'll help see him get similar production. Um, but all of these are small things, man. Adjustments, little things that I'm sure coach will figure out, probably do better than what I'm saying. But this is only the ninth game. It's gonna happen as they always tell us, coach and the coaching staff, they measure the games in sets of tens. So once they get the 10 games, they sit down, they evaluate everything, and they make adjustments based on those 10 games. So we're adjusting on the fly, but we also have major adjustments that we go through during the season, as we watched last year when we were what 3-16, I believe it was, and then we were able to turn that around. You don't do that by just playing the same people, the same rotations, running the same schemes, and just doing all the same stuff. So I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. And looking at this team, we were very high on them coming out the gate. I hear some people in the flock, they're getting a little worried because we dropped some games, especially over the last 3 games. We got 2 losses. That Lakers game hurt. I know. 'Cause we really want to beat the Lakers. That's like a double win if you beat the Lakers and they get a loss. Moves you closer to that pick. But the Pels are on the right track, in my opinion. You got Bi coming back. He's obviously not himself. He had 26 the other night. When you heard him in his interviews, he said he had an off game, and he comes out tonight because you're like, man, you had an off game. He had 26, and it was on okay efficiency, and you kind of see what he meant tonight. So he definitely is trying to work back into it. I don't think you're gonna see many games this season where Bi goes 7 for 23 and has 16 points. That ain't something that's gonna keep happening. Zion he's figuring it out offensively. Every game I see him, he looks a little bit better. And I think he will figure it out defensively because that's an issue right now. He's getting frustrated at times with people hacking him, fouling him, and he ain't getting the call. I seen Zion probably one of the most animated times I've ever seen him tonight. One of those calls, he wound up getting it, but he thought he wasn't. And you could see him; he was going off on the ref tonight. So, and all them years of following him, man, it's finally catching up to him. He's really starting to get pissed, as he should, man, because they foul the hell out of him and Bi. I mean, Bi, they had at least 4 or 5 times I seen him foul Bi tonight, and it was blatant, obvious fouls, and they just don't call them. We was in Atlanta, so what? I guess got the home cooking, I suppose, whatever you want to call that. Even though we don't get no goddamn home cooking when we in the Smoothie King arena, I guess because it's assumed we don't cook in New Orleans. Maybe they think we make smoothies or some shit. I'm saying the Smoothie King arena, but the calls for Zion tonight, he did get to the line 10 times. So maybe if they can be consistent in that way, that'll also help his defensive game too, because offensively we know he hasn't been looking as dominant as we know he can, even though he's been looking good. I like our other guys, man, what we've been seeing from them, especially when we had the injuries. And I think now the team is back healthy, so they just got to put it all together. And you're going to see that turn into wins, especially when Zion don't turn the ball turn the ball over 7 times, and we have 16 turnovers. I think we're more capable of being a team that turns the ball over maybe 10 or 11 times a night. And if they can do that, then by default the defense will get better because they won't have as many chance opportunities in transition the other team, and opportunities to score points off of turnovers. And I think that ultimately will lead to a lot more wins because the games we're losing, it's a very narrow margin of error that we're making, and we're making a lot of mistakes, but we're barely losing these games. And we pretty much only lose, look like, when we go to overtime. So we need to figure out how to not go to overtime, and we could start getting back to stacking these wins.
Yeah. He said a lot of right stuff right there, DC, especially about keeping that. Willie looking at everything in those increments, man. That's true right there. And I know he's a guy that studies those little, those little errors, and he knows how to talk to and vocalize his message and how to get this team to do what he wants to do. So it's just a matter of time. Melanie guys, I think Nance should be in the starting lineup and Big V should be on the bench. You can't have both of your starting bigs having defensive deficiencies. Well, if you want to call Zion a big, Melanin guy dropping some science right there, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out to Lexa, man. Lexa in the building. Shout out to the Queens. and the Kings of the Coma. Much love to you guys. Appreciate y'all being up late with us. Dorlissa, what's up, Queen? Says Dyson Daniels and Jose should have been on the court together, but Willie obsessed with Graham for whatever reason. I don't know. But come on, man. I hear you,
I don't
Dorlissa.
think he
Shout out,
obsessed
Queen.
with Graham. I think Graham is getting $13 million. And they're gonna have to play him.
He gonna eventually you're gonna have to get him if it gets to that point where you're looking at trading them, family. At some point, you're gonna have to get them out there and let them play, man. Because let them build up some points if you're thinking about moving him before the trade deadline. So I know KLJ eventually moves back to the team, and they want to open up minutes for Dyson Daniels as well. You got Jose sitting there, so we got a lot of pieces here. So if they're looking at moving Graham or potentially down the line, you're gonna have to play him. And this is his numbers right here, as it stands. This is Graham's numbers so far in the season.
You ain't gonna have a lot of people jumping to pay $13 million a year for that.
Hopefully, it improves a bit. All right, let's keep it going. Shout out to the rest of the family up there, and Lisa, she's chopping it. She's chopping the science in the chat. All right, Brother John says Pels continue to fight till the end. They have been all of the games they ended up losing. That has to be a positive. Indeed, yeah. You're fighting, and you're making too many damn mistakes, but you can't fault them for not having no heart. So I get what you're saying, Brother John, on that. Alexa says, "Do you see the fouls they were calling for Trae?" Shaking my head.
Oh man, you blow on Trae. That was a foul, man. It was ridiculous. Trae went to the line probably about 16, 17 times tonight. They was hell bent on making sure they got them easy points, and he ain't gonna miss. He probably. I wonder. I don't think he missed no free. Yeah, he ain't missed no free throws tonight, man. He ain't missing. But he's an intelligent player, man. Because if they gonna call that ticky tack shit, I sure we're trying to get everybody in trouble like he was doing.
Yeah, he's big for them, man. He's big for them. That was a huge move for them, getting Murray and him together. And then Nate McMillan is also a very smart coach too. So they got a really good coach, like we got a good coach. Nick McMillan is a guy that's been in the league as a player and also as a coach for a while. I
believe he started the Dame and CJ era, didn't he?
I think he was up there.
Yeah,
with them.
He was the first coach with those two guys.
Right. Yeah, I think he was up there with them. So yeah, he's phenomenal, man, for what Atlanta did. Remember when they were struggling a bit, and he went in there and they made that coaching change, and it turned the whole culture around, and made everything pretty good. So shout out to Nate McMillan, and that's just one of those teams we have to beat, man. We got to beat the Hawks, man. No doubt about it. We got to beat the Hawks. All right, so shout out to
Marley say he missed one free throw. Trae Young.
Miss one free. Yeah, how about that? The dude's awesome, man. Delissa says, quick question. What rim protector would you trade for? Because we need one bad. One rim protector.
I mean, it kind of depends on, who's on the market. But I've been saying it, and I'll say the same guy, because I think he could be had for little or nothing. I don't see him getting a lot of minutes. And I think for what we can use him for, he'd be highly effective. Nerlens Noel, an original draft pick of the New Orleans Pelicans that we traded Drew Holiday for. Well, I traded him for Drew Holiday. He's a capable shot blocker, kind of more like Larry Nance style of defense, off-ball defender. He ain't gonna play no great defense on a guy who's gonna post him up or back him down. But I think just having somebody else with that defensive mentality that can block shots would be huge, man, and helping shore up the paint a little bit. What do you think, Q?
Nerlens Noel, man, you've been pitching him for a while, bro.
Because he's the only one I realistically think we can get.
I mean, he's with Detroit right now,
and their rookie is playing pretty good. I don't think they're gonna use him a whole hell of a lot.
Nah, you got Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duran there, unless injuries happen.
Right. What they gonna do with Nerlens Noel? Nothing.
Yeah, he'd be their backup there. I mean, it's not a bad idea. He's making about $4-something million a year, so it wouldn't be a bad guy to have there. But what's going on with Jack? Before I even look at that, Darla, so what's going on with Jackson Hayes, man? Because really, that's supposed to be your rim protector. your big defensive
Jackson
center.
Hayes ain't never been a rim protector.
Isn't he supposed to be the guy that acts as an athletic big to help out, that plays defense and prevents the rim running and does what he's supposed to do? Now I know about
Yeah.
New Orleans Noel. He was a guy that the Pelicans drafted for somebody else, and we thought at first, and I remember they coined the phrase when Anthony Davis and him, they drafted him.
Quintals.
They called them the thin towels.
The thin towel.
The thin towels. Yeah, the thin towels. So, and that's what they said. So yeah, he's a guy that does give you effort defensively, and he would definitely be a guy that will help you in that regard. I don't know. I would have to kind of scour around and see if I could find somebody else that can fit that. I would say a guy like I don't know about Dwayne Dedman or somebody like that. I don't know about.
Yeah, but he's not really that good to me defensively. I mean, he's not horrible.
Who else? I mean, I can't think of anybody right now. I'm gonna have to kind of look around a bit. Shout
Mobamba.
out to you.
I like Mobamba, but I don't think that's realistic.
But didn't they just read up with that guy?
Yeah.
So
it's just like when you start thinking about guys that are real good at defending the paint, those guys usually they keep them. People don't be wanting to get rid of guys like that, man.
Right.
That can actually, slow down a Joel and be like with the dude you always tell me, man, we ain't getting that dude. Gafford, who plays for the Washington Wizards.
Oh no,
Daniel Gafford. I like him, man, but hey, they not gonna give us him.
No, you're not gonna get Gafford, man.
That'd be a double whammy too. That is the guy that I saw give Zion the toughest game of his life.
He plays Zion well. Yeah, he plays Zion well, man. You're not afraid of him.
It ain't just Zion though. He play a lot of people well.
I don't think is Gafford starting for those people.
I don't know, but the skill set that he has, it don't matter if he's starting or not. No, he has a very usable skill set.
But Kristaps Porzingis is the guy that starts. They also have Vernon Carey.
They probably play them together though, because Kristaps Porzingis, he's not a bad defender. He's just slow as hell, but he'll block some shots though.
I do like the Daniel Gafford thing. I just don't think they'll give him to us, man.
No.
I don't think.
I mean, think of another guy. Like it's the same question. You're not getting him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to scour around, man, to think about it. But that's a good one now.
You got what Mitchell Robinson with New York?
He hurt. No, he hurt, man.
You damn sure ain't getting Bam Adebayo.
You ain't getting Mitch Robinson.
Celtics ain't letting go of Robert. What's the boy name? Robert. They ain't getting rid of him.
Oh, Robert Williams. No, hell no. They ain't getting Robert Williams. No.
All the guys that's like better than what we got on our team, man. They ain't people really trying to get rid of them.
Nah, I mean, I know. No, I don't. I got to think about it. So I know there are a few out there. I'm just drawing blanks on it right now. Dan says, do y'all think this team is a championship or a bust? I don't think they're a bust, but that they most certainly aren't a bust team. But I would say, more close to a championship squad. I think the Pelicans' problem is like they just need to keep guys available, and then of course as they play, and together they'll learn each other, and that team will improve, because it's not all of them are very intelligent. And all of them have the ability to. I mean, like Zion makes it all work, man. Then you got BI playing him, and the CJ, how CJ been playing. I think sooner or later everything will galvanize for the squad moving forward, but it's going to take some time, and then because a lot of the Pelican family members believe that this team good enough to start kind of running into wins, doing like 8, 9, 10 wins in a row type of thing, and for them to be doing that, they got to have these guys available and on the court, building chemistry together, and making those adjustments and cleaning up and doing everything they're supposed to do. And I think we'll start seeing some of that materialize. But for right now, you see what's happening for BI missing all that time. He had a really good game Friday, but not so good game tonight. And CJ trying to keep it all together. We just got Herb Jones back when we got BI back, and so on and so forth. Dyson Daniels was out. I mean, it's crazy. But now that we got some of these guys together, maybe we can keep them together for a block of games so we can start putting some wins consistently together. And I think that's a part of the learning process because the talent's there and the intelligence is there, the coach is there. It's just a matter of getting them all lined up and them staying healthy. So I don't think it's a bust team. I would have to say more championship than anything. Now, if it's
Well, I
championship
mean, I
this
think
year, I don't know if it's championship this year.
he's asking if it's championship or bust, far as like
Winning the
how
championship
the
this year.
team, yeah, like how the team views it. And I think I agree with you, Q. I mean, it's not a bust team,
That's not a
but
bad
I
one,
don't
Benny.
think huh?
Kevin Looney, not a bad one.
Nah, Kevin Looney not, but why would the Warriors give him up? Uh,
Wiseman,
who?
Wiseman.
Wiseman.
They give Wiseman time.
Okay,
When
they had several people played in front of Kevin Looney, and he's always been to like just because you got somebody else starting on me and you're gonna get rid of Kevin Looney. They paid him. They ain't trying to get rid of him.
they did play
But
him, that's true. How
befar
about
as the
Cam Reddish?
championship or bust thing, I don't think the team is championship or bust, me personally, because they're so young. But looking at how these guys were talking and what
No,
they were saying, I think that's the mentality that they have. I think they're thinking championship. You've heard them say it multiple times in all the interviews before the season. I think they're putting their eyes on going as far as humanly possible, and that would be to win the championship. So I don't think they are championship or bust from a management standpoint or from a organizational standpoint all the way, but in that locker room, I
right.
think that's what these guys believe and that's what they're shooting for. But if we don't get that this year, then just look how young we are, man. I mean, there's no reason to be because if you championship or bust, that mean if you don't make it, you got to start breaking the team up and trading guys away to try to get better. And we ain't reached that point yet. We still really young. We got guys on cheap contracts that are ultra talented, and we building up to potentially getting to that point. In another say maybe 4 years or so, we might be looking at a championship or bust situation.
Yeah, the window. Listen, man. I'm gonna just keep it a buck 15 with you, man. The Pelicans have a they have a large wide window, if you know what I mean. This team has a healthy mix of veteran leadership and players right now in their primes. And then, of course, we got superstars and stars, and then you got guys below that, and then you got young guys that are really good. Like, it's a very unique situation. The Pelicans have CJ McCollum here. You know what he does. You got BI and Zion and Big V, who's not chopped liver. We just have to be able to fit him in. And then, of course, you got the younger guys off the bench that's coming, like Dyson Daniels and Trigger Trey Murphy and so on and so forth. So, and even our undrafted guys fit in well, like Jose and Najee. And then you got Larry Nance, who kind of rocks with CJ McCollum to kind of solidify the bench as a sturdy veteran that knows what to do. So, I mean, it's a very unique mix. Not too many people have that kind of mix. And like I said, we just need to just stay available and be able to work together and get that live game action in there so they can build upon what they got. But the Pelicans have a large, wide window for the next several years. And and for me to say championship this year, they would have to galvanize in such a way that you know just be out of worldly. I'm not saying that they're not championship caliber, but this year I'm kind of looking at it. I'm saying this is Willie's second year, his first year with Zion, and adding him into the mix of the talent that we have, and it takes time to build up to that. But it's totally possible for them to galvanize to a point where they are available. They got it. They're hitting on all cylinders, and they start running through the league. That is possible with the Pelicans. That's the greatness of what this squad is, man. It gets hot. It'll tear up some shit. Bottom line. So it's fun for me to say championship. I don't know if I see that this year. I can see the Pelicans having a deep playoff run, but to say championship, I don't know about that. I won't say that this year, but I would not be surprised if the Pelicans did get to a finals if that was the case. You get what I'm saying? All right. So with that being said, fam, DC, Tramal wants to know about Cam Reddish. So tell him, stop hiding from the question.
I don't know what the hell going on with Cam
Okay.
Reddish, man.
Okay, there you go. This dude told me Cam Reddish's statistics a week and a half ago. He been keeping tabs on Cam Reddish. He's been keeping tabs on Didi Louzada. He's been keeping tabs on the guy out there in Portland. What's his name, DC? The guy that you was the new Cam Reddish, Shadion Sharp.
Josh Hart.
You was talking about him, telling me about how good he is and all this kind of stuff, that he's the new Dominique Wilkins. So, it's just
When did he
insane,
become the
man.
new Dominique Wilkins?
I can't keep up with all.
understand that.
I can't keep up with all.
That's
the
your
DC's
guy,
weird.
Dominique, bro.
I can't
Dominique
keep
is
up
your
with all.
guy,
I
man.
can't keep up with all these weird commentaries by DC
Well,
all the time. But DC, can you please ask Jamal's question about Cam?
Man, you know Jamal ain't serious, man. Jamal always joking, man. He be joked out the game, man. I ain't answering that question.
Oh,
That's
see, the
a
man wants to know.
self-explanatory question. That's a rhetorical question.
It's not a rhetorical question. He's asking you a question. Can they still can?
No, he said,
DC,
DC, we can still get Cam Reddish. You might as well put LOL behind there. I know what you're doing, Molly.
All right, shout out Lexi. It's not time to panic on the team. Oh no, absolutely not. We got to give them time to gel. 20 to 25 games, we'll see a major change. There you go, Lexa. Yeah, Lexa's smart, man. She need to be on there, sitting next to T. Witherspoon, dropping some science. And when
That's
you
right.
do that, remember the Pelican post-game report, Lexa, and ship some tickets to me, and make sure you get some international stamps to send to DC. Give him an extra day to get there, because he got to get the plane from the Marleys. That's his family, so they can fly into town. But he got to make sure he go through several checkpoints before he get there. It's just very weird. All right, so with that being said, fam, let's Jamal said it was a question.
He said, no, you don't try to do that, bro. You want to try to phrase it. You see what that said. DC, it was an LOL question. A laugh out loud question.
Yes. Right. Okay, there you go.
Yes. All right, read the whole thing.
All right, we got Josh, man. Shout out to my boy Josh. We're gonna bring Josh in the stream, man. Shout out to you, Josh. Welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
Hello, y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. What's up,
brother?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
Good, my brother. How you
man.
doing, bro?
Pretty good this morning.
I'm doing good.
Sunday
man.
morning.
I wish the Pelicans could have won, but man, that game, man. Defense was the main thing for me. Our defense was really concerning. And man, them fouls Trae Young was getting, that was crazy.
Yeah,
man, that was ridiculous. Man, I don't know what the NBA got on us, but man, them calls was crazy. How many times did Trae Young shoot at the free throw line?
I'm gonna get you the official number, brother.
Because I mean that was crazy.
Yeah, Trae went to the free throw line 15 times. He had 14 to 15.
Wow.
He got them all. He got them all. Nobody else really got that. I mean, Murray he went there 4 times and went 3 or 4. But yeah, that was totally ridiculous.
But I mean,
man.
if you seen the way Trae was getting there, I mean, you can't really call no fouls for nobody else, because every foul he got was ticky-tack. I was wishing somebody just put him on his ass once, because I mean, make it count.
Yeah, but still in all, DC, despite all of that, they still could have won that game, though, bro. Despite that, they still could have won the game. Nobody didn't tell them to go to the foul line and miss 8 free throws.
No, but when you see somebody just getting these touch fouls all game, bro, I don't care who he is, me, for somebody watching, or them playing, man, that is frustrating, bro. It was literally all touch fouls. I mean, they're fouls, but they don't call them on the other end, though.
DC, it's home cooking, bro. It's home cooking.
Well, why we don't get home cooking, Q?
Because the goddamn kitchen is closed. The stove is messed up. Kitchen is closed for you. You got all the takeout. You don't get home cooking. Trae Young gets the home cooking, and still in all with their cooking, the Pelicans still could have won this game tonight. They still could have won the game.
Yeah.
They still could.
What I took away from this game, and pretty much the whole season, man, we got to play some defense, man. This is, man, and I don't want to pick on one guy, but man, I just got to talk about. Y'all was talking about it too. DC was talking about Zion, like his defense, man. It's really concerning, man. I mean, just and he played Trae Young. He was getting switched on Trae Young, and Trae Young is one of the best players in the NBA. But man, I mean, Zion just let the dude go right past it. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, it's not even like Trae Young, but the other previous games, it's like what the Jazz were doing, like Jordan Clarkson and they just, man, they taking advantage of Zion on defense, and it's like concerning, man, because it's like that second year. I don't know if y'all remember, but yeah, it's the second year. It was with Eric Bledsoe. You know what I'm saying? Steven Adams, right? Alonzo. He had the majority of the offensive load, right? It was him and Bi. But this year he got CJ McCollum, right? He got JV. He still got Bi. So like, why are you not? I feel like you should be able to play defense. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need. You're not the only guy on offense. You know what I'm saying? So it's just concerning with me, man. And Zion, he's supposed to be like, with Bi, he's supposed to be like a number one guy and stuff. And it's like, bro, you gotta play some defense, man. And the turnovers too, man. Oh my goodness, the turnovers. Like, bro, you gotta be able to control the ball, man. He's letting Jalen Johnson rip him, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't, dog. They already killing you on defense, and then on offense you turn over the ball. It's like, come on, bro. So that's, man, Zion, he got to improve his defense. And what do you guys think? You think, like, is he just like out of energy, or he just don't play defense at all? Like, what
Well,
y'all think?
like I said when I brought the comment up, um, it's two things to me. One is just him adjusting. You got to think from when we always complain about Zion with defense, right?
Right.
Well, he did have three different coaches. They all play defense three different ways. Defense ain't his best attribute as far as he came to NBA, but what I can remember in college, he was pretty damn good. So I know he has the ability to get there. So I got to look at that or the fact that him adjusting to however they play defense. It's been new for him every year. You know what I mean? He's been in the league 4 years. He missed one with Willie Green the first year when everybody else was installing it, and he was going through all of his stuff. He never got a chance to pick it up, so he's trying to pick up Willie Green's system on how they play defense. On top of that, just being fair to Zion, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it because he's been looking bad defensive. But to be fair to him, he ain't played ball in 2 years, right? Defense ain't been his strong suit since he been in the NBA, right? He ain't looked at his best doing what we normally see him do yet. So you got that going, and I attribute that to I don't care how much you run, you hear all the players say it. It's almost cliche to this point when I'm gonna say it is you don't work out to get in basketball shape, right? So he wasn't a two-way guy to begin with in the league. On top of that, he ain't played for 2 years, and he's still not fully in basketball shape yet, and still knocking the rust off from not playing in 2 years. But he gonna have to put a bigger effort on side of that on that side of the ball because we can see it, and nobody don't like seeing that. And I'm sure they're gonna go back and watch tape and point it out because it's just times where you just see he don't even have the effort. Like that Trae Young
That's what
play you
I'm
talking about. Trae blew by him, but what happens? Trae blew by Herb a bunch of times tonight, but Herb hurry up and got back in front of him. It's like just the effort, that second effort. Zion ain't doing that,
saying. Yeah,
So
that's
you can either say he don't want to, or he don't have enough energy. I think it's a combination of both. He's not excited to, and he's slightly fatigued. I mean, he came out of the game tonight because I think Willie Green said possibly was cramps. He came out of the game at a crucial point in the game. He had to sit down. So it's obviously to me that he's trying, but he gonna have to try a little harder on that side of the ball. What you say, Q?
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, Zion, you can't get away from the tape, man. You know, he definitely a greater effort is needed by Zion defensively, man.
right.
And I think if anybody gonna inspire him to play defense, it'll be Coach Willie, because that's a big part of his game that can really help the Pelicans in situations like tonight, man. We just can't. A lot of the Pelicans games that we see in the games where they're losing, matchups is these teams are getting to the cup too easy. A lot of times you see these guys slicing, dicing right to the cup, and I'm like, man, it's not. We can't let it be that easy for them to score around the rim like that. And we got athletic guys that can get in there and make plays. It's not like Zion can't play defense. You see him on tape running down and then
Man, in
jumping up and
college,
batting the ball down. You see what I'm saying? So but he
yeah,
does have the ability to play defense. He's not defensive deficient. I think Coach Willie just has to be able to get him in there. And just like Lexa and several others in the chat saying in the flocks have said, and they're right. That he had a huge layoff from playing basketball and he has to figure it out. So as long as he continues to play and is available, that's a part of the game. Offensively and defensively, they'll get together, and I think that'll help the team out. So we'll see how it goes, but I think I have confidence in Coach Willie to get that turned around, man. Because we can't have any performances like this. Like I said, several plays, this game changes. The Pelicans win, and you can say that about the other games that we lost. We allowing people to get into the paint a little toward the rim running and doing all this kind of stuff a little too easy. We need to do better than that.
yeah. And that's just, yeah. I hope he pulls it together because it's like, man, I see Herb Jones out there, and I'm not saying he need to be no Herb, but I see Herb out there, like, you know what I'm saying, giving effort. Larry Nance, Jose, you know what I'm saying? Like I see all our team really gives. Even Devontae Graham, like, man, he be giving effort. Like this year at least on defense. Like you saw the block shots he got. Like he be giving effort. You know, and it's just
That's why he
Zion.
be out there.
And Zion, it just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like he don't just be giving the effort. But I also want to talk about on offense, still with Zion. I want to talk about how do you guys feel like, because I think we all can agree, just like the defense is not really, it's not good right now. His offense, I mean, it's good, but I think we've seen elite like level offense from him, and I think, you know, I gotta give Stan Van Gundy some credit. Man, he was during like the middle of the season, he was getting Zion, like he was getting the most out of Zion with that point Zion. What do you guys think we need to do to get the most out of Zion? You think we need to go back to that point Zion that we saw from what Stan did? Because he was averaging like 27 points and he was just dominant. What y'all think we need to do to get him like back to that level?
I think we need to go ahead and implement the system of time. That's all we need to do. I'm not giving Stan Van Gundy that much credit for Zion like that. I think Zion is what he is, and he would have been what he was with or without Stan. Stan just decided to put the ball in his hands, and he gonna get the ball in his hands. Obviously, here. I mean, he had 21 shots tonight. He just needs time, man. I mean, he's not gonna come out there and be the Zion we saw him at his peak, you know, in 9 games of the season. Like when we get to game 30, you know what I'm saying? Then kind of look back on what you want from him. In my opinion, I think he just needs time, man, to get to that level. Obviously, you see him do pieces of it. We see glimpses of it. You know, we saw it tonight in the department of scoring. You know, but his facilitation and his ball handling was off. You know, he had 7 turnovers, trying to get people assists and be point Zion, right? And he
Yeah,
just didn't have that aspect of it tonight. But when he got the ball in his spots, he was scoring with ease tonight. He almost looked like old Zion scoring. But his game wasn't as dominant because he turned the ball over 7 times. So it didn't look like what you remember when in the Stan Van Gundy era, because he wasn't doing that. You know, it was 29, 27 damn near every night with almost no turnovers, you know, and then maybe anywhere from 4 to 5 assists, you know, on any given night. So I think he's getting back into it, man, and now he's got to readjust with Bi because he got some games and kind of got it going, and now Bi's back, so that's another added adjustment. So it's just gonna take time, man. They're fine. And Zion's fine. To me, he's the same guy. To me, even though the numbers ain't there yet like they were with Stan Van Gundy. When I look at him out there, he's that same guy. I think he's even better. But he's just got to work on the little things, get all the way back of had his peak. You know, he's back and capable, but he's not to his top potential right now. But he's gonna get to that as long as he just keep playing and don't get hurt. He'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a matter of time, man. It's definitely a matter of time. And who better to teach him some of the things he lacking in this game than Willie, man? A lot of this stuff is eventually gonna come into fruition. He just has to be available, and he and his team will improve together. All right, Josh. Let me give you the last call on the floor before we move on to our next caller, my brother. You got a last word on it?
I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. I think we're gonna bounce back. I'm confident in the team. I'm confident in Willie Green. He's a great coach. I'm confident in all our players. So I think we're gonna bounce back. I still think we're going to still be a top. I think personally myself, I think we're gonna be like a top 5 seed. I don't know how you guys think now that the NBA, it's been 9 games in the season, but I think we're gonna be like a top 5 seed. And yeah, I think we're gonna bounce back and we're gonna get on a win streak soon. The Pacers, we definitely should beat the Pacers. We should definitely beat the Pacers. So, and also I want to say too, Q, it was good seeing you at the open practice, man. It was good seeing you, man.
Shout out to you too, Josh, bro. You too, my brother. DC couldn't make it, bro. He was stuck on.
Yeah, I know he on that island.
Right. He can't. He got to schedule 3 days in advance, and DC's not exactly the most punctual person in the world, bro. So
you right about that shit.
See. Y'all think I'd be kidding? See. All right. So yeah, thank you, Josh. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Peace.
Right.
That's brother Josh, man. Shout out to that brother, man, for chiming in. Appreciate you. We got DJ, man, chiming in next. Please feel free, family, to hit the like button, man. It's 12:18 a.m. Central Time. We up in this thing. You got DJ chiming in. We're gonna bring him in next. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also feel free to share the show on your social media feed, like DC always says. DC, you gonna say it?
What I always say?
What you gonna say? You gonna say it? Is what?
I was gonna say what?
You're gonna say, we talk about the show and what you're supposed to do with the show on your social media feed. What you always say.
Boy, you be working hard for that alley-oop, huh? It's about it batted down.
You
gonna keep throwing it up there.
It's a coconut, bro. I throw it up, bro. You grab it, crack it, and make a drink out of it.
See, now you done drop the ball because there's a coconut. I got to make a drink out of it. I can't.
So, right.
Sharing is caring, family.
That's right. Sharing is caring. All right.
Please share, care, and subscribe.
There you go.
Pelicans post-game report.
All right. Shout out DC. Appreciate
on
you.
YouTube.
DJ, welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
How y'all flock family doing today?
Doing good, bro.
Pretty
doing
good, bro.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing.
You gotta fly, DJ. You can't be hanging.
All right, DC. All right, you got that one.
What you think about the game tonight, DJ?
I'm gonna take a step first. I'm gonna take a step back. We're gonna talk about the Golden State game first, because I really didn't see this game, but I heard like the last couple of minutes in the fourth quarter. I actually went to the Golden State game, and the Smoothie King, the what someone called it, the SKC. It was lit. CJ McCollum had a bad start. He's been starting bad without these. We're gonna say maybe 4 games, because everybody was legit when we played the Brooklyn Nets. So we're gonna say maybe the first 4 games. Well, the last 4 games. He been I mean, I'm not gonna count CJ out because he's a guard. So I mean, I can't count him out. Best up for Golden State Warrior game. Uh, a lot of threes taken. Like that was in certain scenarios. It was a lot of threes taken, and we didn't have to do that. Because I mean, damn no, we only lost maybe the third quarter in that game. I don't have the stats and statistics on my pulled up, but I mean, I know we lost the first quarter, and after that, we didn't turn our back, which was we were supposed to win that game because they had Stephen Curry, Clay, and Draymond and Andrew Wiggins out. Kudos to the Pelicans because if we wouldn't have won that game, I would have went and put a bag over my head and call it a night.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean that's like having Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal out, and you still lose. So, yeah, that point. Shout out to Bi that Golden State game. Shout out to Bi. It was his first game, well, not really first game back, but first game back off of injury. He scored 26. Zion scored 16. And also, let's give a big shout out to Larry Nance because they couldn't stop him either. I still think we gonna trade Devontae Graham. That's because I mean he had a little few passes here and there, but Jose got that one. Devontae Graham mama said, well, you know you lost your job to undrafted free agent. You know that, right? So I guess Devontae Graham's like, well, fuck, I lost my job, so might as well. If coach called my number, I'm just gonna go on in and do what I do. The Hawks game, this was kind of tough because this is our second to third overtime game that we done lost. So and I'm giving them a little bit of the pass because this is our back-to-back game. So that's why I'm gonna give them a pass too. I don't know if y'all said that earlier because I'm kind of late. I don't know how many turnovers we had. I know last night we had six? No, yeah, we had 16 turnovers. They had 14. So, I mean, we cut down our turnovers. And the free throws, oh my God, they missed the Warriors game. I'm like, dude, make your free throws. It's like every time I said that, they made it. So, I mean, I don't know. And I was sitting up there in the 300 level. So that, I mean, we only lost by what? By what? Oh, no, that's the Golden State game. Good to Atlanta Hawks game?
We lost by 3, DJ. 121, 124.
All right, so we lost by 3. How many free throws did CJ? I know Herb missed about 1. So they go 1 right there. How many missed CJ? Zion? There go your points right there.
I hear you, but I mean, you put them in a vacuum. You know, what I mean, if they make them, then like, what if something else happened? Bad defensive play or whatever. But I got you though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, Trae Young, he's something like Stephen Curry. So, I mean, and then you got the Spurs guard too over there as well. I forgot his name.
Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, Dejounte Murray. So, I mean, this is what I was saying earlier and before the season started. Adjust your lineup to their lineup. So that's gonna put CG at the one. We're gonna sit out her and hear me out, because I know y'all about to bash me. Hear me out. We're gonna sit out her. We're gonna plug in either Jose Alvarado or Dyson Daniels. You gotta look at height scenarios. Bi, Zion, and JV. Then you sub in uh Jose Alvarado, uh her Najee, uh Trey, I think I said Trey Murphy, but yeah, the rest of the lineup pretty much. And you go from there. That's just my opinion. You match up. I mean, because Dyson Daniels, I mean, even though he missed the 2 free throws and we should have won the Utah Jazz game, I'm not gonna talk about that one right now because I still have to update my channel on the last 3 games. So we're not gonna talk about that. Anyway. Josh, if you're still listening, if you still up, I'll go live myself for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna end the live stream or whatever case may be. That's if you're still up and you're still listening. Yeah, we gotta cut down on these turnovers. I mean, yeah, the 3-second violation, you gotta count that in. You gotta count that in. You gotta count bad passing because I saw that a lot of in the Warriors game as well. It can be coachable. A lot of stuff that we're doing could be coachable. Free throws, I will have everybody shooting free throws. That'll sum up the end of the practice. You gotta shoot at least 10 free throws. At least 10 free throws. Dyson, then you getting on the line too. Cause that LA Lakers game, we could have won. We could have walked out of that with what, maybe 1 or 2 points. So that too. But I mean, the Lakers, I don't see them going nowhere. AD, I know for sure he not playing the whole season. LeBron can't do it all by himself, and they got young core just like us. It just we got a better young core than them. But other than that, I mean that's about it.
All right. I rock with some of what you're saying, but the lineups, I don't know. I guess I look at the lineups a little differently, but who knows, man? I mean, we got a lot of good players, so ain't no telling how they could mix and match with that lineup. But
I
you
mean,
got
because
any?
the shooting is going to come from CJ, Bi, Zion, and JV. I mean, Dyson Daniels, he's the defensive purposely to match up. Because I mean, Jose, he gonna do his GTA stuff. I'm not counting that because I mean, I didn't even see the steal, and I went to the Golden State Warriors game where he got a steal off the who did he rip? He ripped somebody, and I didn't
He
know.
always sneaking in there, getting one of them.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Nor the I didn't know Brandon Ingram made somebody else fall. So I missed 2 plays, 2 important plays. That I mean, now I saw the dunk. I didn't know how Brandon Ingram dunked it, but I saw the finishing touch. If that makes any sense. But
Yeah,
Dyson Daniels, I mean, my lineup is for defensive purposes. Whether you give him the ball to go score, or whether you work him in. Uh, oh hell, if you don't like, if you don't trust Dyson Daniels like that, put in
it's
Trae Young.
obvious. If obviously coach don't, I mean, he tried to trust him and it cost him a game. So you ain't gonna move him to the starting lineup after he calls you a game.
I mean, you gotta know how that game ended too. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was some bad calls and some good calls, so you gotta look at that too. I'm not defending the Lakers like that, but I mean, it. I mean, it that I mean, 'cause the way the NBA going right now, they got a lot of players getting hurt, a lot of key players that's getting hurt. Uh, I don't know what they're doing with Kyrie because I heard he's suspended for a couple of games. So Brooklyn Nets, they're not gonna have Kyrie for a good little while. I mean, a lot of stuff going on in the NBA.
That's right.
But
Well,
this is the
what else?
Pelican.
What else you got, brother? What else you got?
Um, that's about it. My thing is my key main factor is uh make your damn free throws. That I mean, because we lost by 3. How many free throws we missed tonight?
8.
There go you win right there. Now how many? Now my last question is what player missed more than 2?
I mean, Zion missed 3.
Uh,
We look at everybody else stats. I'm sure everybody helped out. I know for sure CJ missed probably a couple of them. I don't know if Bi missed none, but
th- there go you win right there.
free throws definitely played a major part. But I think it was energy and effort more than free throws, which that kind of ties into free throws because they had multiple different aspects of the game they could have won at, and they just every chance they got, they dropped the ball. Like if we would have finished defensively ending that possession, this is becoming a trend. People hitting shots to go to overtime at the end of the game, right? We played better D right there on that last shot. That'd have been a win. If we wouldn't have turned the ball over coming out in overtime so much, that would have been a win. Larry Nance makes that layup. Then they score after that. That's a big swing. So um I feel you on the free throws. So that definitely could have been a win, but it's just multiple areas where we dropped the ball, and it was almost like the Pels just they played, and every chance they had a chance to go ahead and win the game, they just found a way to lose it. But with that, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the last comment, and I'm gonna let you close out the show. We about to get up out of here. It's almost 1 o'clock on my end, so
Uh,
you go ahead and give your last comment if you got one, DJ, and then you could go ahead and give that famous phrase I know you dying to give because it's been a minute, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the show, family.
I'm dead there. Snap. Um, like I said, make your free throws. That's the main key. Keep your head up. Hey, we had a better start than last year. So
That's
we
right.
5-3. We still keeping the league on notice. But with that being said, if you're not a Pelican fan, we're gonna need you to jump on the bandwagon now, as of right now, because Hadamir Pete said you better get the Pelicans to the playoffs and hang a banner this year. Oh, my bad. That was my Hadamir Pete voice. But with that being said, good night, y'all, and as well as get the flock out of here and go flock yourself.
Oh
Ah,
man, you you gotta do the whole phrase, DJ.
ah.
You went in there, you try to customize it. You gotta
Yeah.
go. If what you do if they tell you about your Pelicans, bro? Well, go ahead, do the whole phrase, bro.
All right. Shout out to you, DC. Shout out to you. Oh, man, it's been a minute. All right. If anybody says something about your Pelicans, you tell them in a New Orleans accent to get the flock out of here and go flock yourself. Ah, ah.
All right, DJ.
Y'all have a good
And
one.
on that note, we go get up out of here, family. It's been wonderful. Pels definitely gonna get a win against Indiana, and we'll be back in here to give you the good news. Go Pels.
Go
And
Pels.
peace.